My name is Jakob Dahl, and during my Arnold O.Beckman Postdoctoral Fellowship, I worked at MIT in the Jensen lab at Chemical Engineering, developing new techniques to integrate computational tools into experimental design for catalytic reactions. And one of the key points of this integration is to enable chemists to learn from their mistakes, to enable us to ask why some catalytic reactions work and others don't, and why that might be the case. And that's a key part of Dr. Beckman's ethos and the Beckman rules of success. And one thing that I really think is key about that ethos is not only should we not take ourselves too seriously, but we should also not take any model that we make too seriously. And that's a really important thing when you're modeling experiments. So what I've been doing is really trying to make many models and iterate with experiments to try and figure out which of them we should be taking more seriously and which of them we should be taking less seriously. Many of the catalytic reactions used to make medicines and materials look very simple on paper, and then they get approximated into these Lego-like building block cartoons. But the problem is, behind the scenes, they form these cycles of reaction steps. And not just do you have to think about these cycles, but there are additional steps that describe when these cycles break down. And realistically, there are many possible cycles that a reaction could follow, and understanding which steps actually occur is essential for improving efficiency and sustainability. Testing every possibility experimentally would take years. My research question asks, can we teach computers to help us navigate this complexity so we can focus our experiments where they matter most? I collaborated with computer scientists to develop simulation tools that can evaluate large numbers of possible reaction pathways. We start with a proposed pathway, and then these tools turn the pathway into a mathematical representation of the reaction, which we can then fit to actual data. We can then compare how well the different pathways predict new data and come up with new mechanisms to test or new reactions to perform in collaboration with experimentalists. Working with my experimental collaborators, we apply this approach to a widely used palladium-catalyzed reaction. By cycling between prediction and experiment, we were able to rule out incorrect mechanisms, identify catalyst deactivation pathways, and correctly predict how different intermediates contribute to the overall reaction. You may have noticed that throughout our work understanding the catalyst, we always had a little L in the picture. That is a ligand, a large molecule that supports the metal catalyst and has a very big impact on its performance. And there are a lot of potential options, and they can be quite expensive to make. So we built a system that could predict which ligands would work well before the synthesis and help guide our design of what makes a better ligand. Working with James, another Arnold O.Beckman postdoctoral fellow, we iteratively made better models and better ligands. We designed all ligands so that they could be made in a single synthetic step. And then we would update our models after James made a new ligand so we could get better predictions based on the available data. One of the challenges in this approach is how to turn the structure of the ligand into a number that you can use in a computer model. And what we did was we simulated the ligand with the metal in the computer and then extracted information from those calculations, like understanding how much volume or surface area the ligand occupies. This approach helped us discover new ligand scaffolds for copper-catalyzed reactions, including some that had never been synthesized before, and a new champion ligand. It also revealed which molecular features matter most for catalytic activity, knowledge that can guide future design efforts. Back when I finished my PhD, I was doing experimental synthesis of nanocrystals. Having this fellowship gave me the freedom to pivot in a completely new direction, to follow the science where it led me, and to build collaborations across chemistry, engineering, and computer science. And I'm also very grateful to the Jensen lab at MIT for hosting me, and to the Buckland lab, and in particular, Elaine and James for collaborating so closely with me. Dr. Beckman believed that innovation happens when people are empowered with the right tools and the freedom to explore. My work on active learning and catalyst design is built on that same principle, creating tools that help scientists discover more, learn from their mistakes, understand more, and innovate more. I'm deeply grateful to the Arnold and Mabel Beckman Foundation for supporting this work and for investing in early career scientists. This fellowship has shaped my scientific path and strengthened my commitment to developing technologies that accelerate chemical discovery. Thank you.